Think about your voice for a second. It's so much more than just sound, right? It's really a huge part of who you are. It's how we tell stories, how we connect with people we care about. It's basically the sound of our identity. So what happens if you're at risk of losing that? I mean, just imagine if you could create a digital backup, like a perfect copy of your voice, something you could save forever. Well, it turns out Apple has been thinking about that exact question. They've come up with something pretty groundbreaking called Personal Voice. And it's all about making sure your voice can always, always be yours. Okay, so what is this thing? Basically, Personal Voice is an amazing accessibility feature. It uses machine learning right there on your own device to create a synthesized voice that sounds, well, like you. It's really designed for people who might be at risk of losing their ability to speak, maybe due to conditions like ALS or other things that affect speech over time. I know, it sounds like something straight out of science fiction, right? But creating your own digital voice is actually a surprisingly simple journey. So let's break down how you get from just recording a few phrases to actually speaking with it. All right, so the whole process really boils down to one number, 150. That's it. You just have to read 150 random phrases out loud. It's not some crazy endless task, it's just a single, focused recording session. The whole thing really breaks down into 3 super simple steps. First, you record. This takes about, 15 to 20 minutes. Second, your device does all the hard work. It processes everything and builds that voice model, all while it's charging and locked. And then third, you're ready to speak with your new voice. It's that easy. So, where can you actually use this? The answer is pretty much anywhere you'd use your voice. Once it's all set up, you just type what you want to say, and your device speaks it for you, in your voice. This works for phone calls, for FaceTime, and even for talking to someone in person using the live speech feature. Okay, I know what you're probably thinking right now. My voice? That's about as personal as data gets. So how on earth is Apple protecting it? This is a really, really important question. So let's dig into the privacy side of things. This right here is the absolute key, the most important thing to get. Your voice never leaves your device. The whole process, recording it, analyzing it, creating the final voice, all of it happens and stays right there on your iPhone, your iPad, or your Mac, period. Yeah, Apple has basically built a digital fortress around this feature. Because it's all processed on device, nothing ever gets sent to the cloud. And if you do decide to sync your voice across your other Apple devices, it's protected with end-to-end encryption. Plus, it's all locked down behind your passcode, Face ID, or Touch ID, just like everything else. This really shows you the huge difference in how this stuff can be handled. A lot of other systems are cloud-based, meaning your super sensitive voice data gets sent off to some server somewhere, which, opens up all kinds of potential privacy risks. But with Apple's on-device approach, that risk is just gone. Your data stays completely private with. Okay, so we've talked about what this is and why it's so important. Now let's get down to the nitty-gritty, the how. If you're thinking about creating your own personal voice, this is your step-by-step guide. It's actually super easy to find. You just go into Settings, then Accessibility, and you'll see Personal Voice. Tap Create a Personal Voice, and the phone will just walk you through everything else. After you've read those 150 phrases, you just plug your device in, lock the screen, and let it do its thing. It'll even send you a notification when your voice is ready to go. Now, if you want to get the best possible result, and of course you do, here are a few quick tips. First, find a quiet room. You really want to cut down on any background noise. Second, just speak naturally, like you're talking to a friend. You don't need to be all formal or robotic. And hey, remember, you can pause and come back to it anytime. No pressure. Okay, a quick heads up. This feature is pretty powerful and it needs some serious processing muscle to work. That means it's not available on every single Apple device out there. So let's quickly go over the hardware you'll need to make sure your device is ready. So to run this, you're going to need an iPhone 12 or anything newer than that. For iPads, it's the 5th gen iPad Air or later, or the more recent iPad Pros. And for Macs, you'll need any Mac that has Apple Silicon, so an M1 chip or later. The reason for this is pretty simple. All that secure on-device processing takes a ton of power, and these newer chips are built for. When you step back and think about it, Personal Voice is so much more than just another feature, isn't it? It's this really incredible meeting point of technology and our own humanity. It lets a core part of who we are live on. And that really leaves you with a much bigger question to ponder. As technology keeps getting more and more advanced, what other ways will we find to preserve the things that make us, well, us?